want you to practice asking yourself before you make a decision, how do I feel? And that's going to allow you to, first of all, tune into your hunger and fullness. So your first kind of thing with how do I feel is like, am I actually hungry or am I feeling a different emotion? And we can name this emotion. It's called naming the dragon. And it really helps us tune in to what we're experiencing in that moment. So imagine you're at work and there's a box of Quality Streets on the side and you get an email from a client who is a pain in the bum. You're like, oh, I need a break. You get up from your desk, you walk past the Quality Streets and you go, oh. And then you walk past and you get back to your desk and you're like, I'm going out for dinner tonight. Why have I just eaten 5 Quality Streets? 500 calories I definitely didn't need, don't even taste that good. And now I'm feeling like I've kind of ruined my dinner. I'm not going to be hungry. I'm not feeling good. And maybe even you're just going to feel like, a little bit rubbish about your decision. Now, first things first, once it's happened, there is absolutely no point beating yourself up because it's done. All you can do is learn from it. So with every experience that you go through, whether you manage to tune in and ask yourself the question of how do I feel, and whatever the outcome is, whatever the behavior you take is just what happens. You can try and change that, of course, but if it doesn't work out, because this is all an experiment, you're learning, you're developing, you're practicing, don't be mean to yourself because you're only human. I'm only human. This stuff doesn't work for me all of the time. It's a continual practice. So in that situation, client sends you the email, drives you up the wall. You think like, oh, I'm going to kill someone. Before you get up from your desk, it's like, how do I feel? I feel angry. I feel peed off. I feel like I'm going to kill someone. Okay. When I feel like this, I know I'm in danger of wanting to eat those feelings away because nobody likes to feel like that. So what is a different outlet that you could have? Can you go to the kitchen? Can you go to the bathroom and splash cold water on your face? Maybe not if you've got makeup on. Can you go outside, get a breath of fresh air? Can you go and talk to a colleague and be like, that client, they just did it again? And just let off a bit of steam, let your brain process it and then be like, okay, I'm going to go back to my desk now. So you can see you have to acknowledge and recognize these feelings, do something about them, but it doesn't necessarily need to be food. Now, there's an added layer to this one. It's really good practice to have in advance an if this, do that strategy. So if a client does my head in, I will go and talk to a colleague. If my boss is on my case about something, I will go to the toilet and text someone I love and tell them something nice. If my colleagues are pushing me to eat food that I don't want, I will remind myself of my goals and I will act accordingly. So I'm not saying that you can't have the Quality Streets, you can't have the cake, you can't enjoy the Christmas meals, but it's just tuning in with how do you feel and making sure that what you're about to do is a response to hunger or celebration and not a response to a negative emotion that we're just trying to get rid of because we don't like how it feels. So, how do I feel? Name the feeling and then make a list of when those feelings happen, what you're going to do instead. So, different feelings for different situations. If you're at home, you might do something completely different. You might go and scream in a pillow. Probably can't do that at work. So, what your first thing is, as always, you're looking for what situations and feelings drive you to eat when you don't want to? Then what are your alternatives? So this all starts with how do I feel? Because the more you ask yourself that question, the more you say those feelings out loud, name the dragon, the more you're going to see, okay, I often eat because I am feeling X. And once you know that, you can start to create the plan Bs for those situations for different places in life. So I hope that helps. I am really excited to see how this one goes for you. So